Bacho 97.9. Listen, are y'all ready for a legend? Are y'all ready for a goat? A real goat?
Let's go! Let's go! New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, now tell me shit I feel so wrong for things I'm setting aside.
Vibe Show 97.9 back in full effect. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope everybody had a super blessed day today. Because if you did, guess what? After this right here, this gift that was delivered to me, this gift, this blessing. I'm talking about, y'all notice me. All the work that's been put in over the years and still being put in. Talking about lead singer of Truth, three-time Grammy Award winner, performer, writer, producer, motivational speaker. I'm talking about multiple hat wearing, the GOAT, the one and only Stephen Russell Harts. Oh man. What
Ooh,
up, Steve?
man. Who is that guy? Where is he? Where is this guy at, man?
Yo, man, I gotta take time out right now to thank you from me and the team. Special shout out to Grown and Sexy Music for making this happen, and thank you so much, man, for allowing us this amazing opportunity to just have spend some time with you for a little while.
Oh man, I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be
I ain't
here,
gonna lie. How you feeling, man? How you
man.
feeling, man? You still looking vibrant?
I feel good, man. I feel vibrant. I feel good. I do that daily on purpose, man. I'm still in my body, so I feel good, man.
Right, right, absolutely. Now, born in Hartford, Connecticut, but raised in Pasadena, California, where it
Yeah.
all started at, man. Where it all started at. Big Michael Jackson fan. Is it safe to say that Michael was the inspiration, that just the spark? Is it safe to say that?
Yeah, no question, man. I used to imitate Michael Jackson as a kid in Pasadena, man. Uh, and just seeing people's reaction from me performing his songs, it just really affected me. I liked the feeling of making people feel good. It felt good to make people feel good like that.
Right,
You know?
right.
So
And it's amazing that feeling that it had over you. I know at that age right there, I'm not sure if you could even see the future that far or whatever, but you knew that that spark was there, that sparked it. But what would you say is the safe age to say that you really felt like, you know what, I got something here. I got this talent within me, and I really want to pursue it on a professional level.
well, it started early on, man. At 6, 7, 8 years old, my mother's mother, rest in peace, my grandmother, whenever we were together, she always told me that I was special.
Mm,
She always told me, boy, you talented, you gifted, you got. She always said that. So, her and my mom, they just nurtured me in the sense of always reminding me coming up that I had it. So once I start dancing and doing Michael Jackson and doing all that stuff, um, when I got in high school, my grandma passed, man. Before, hmm, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
nah,
Um,
no doubt.
um, when my grandma passed right before I went into high school, man, and
Wow.
so that was big. That was big on me, to be
Right.
honest. That was really, uh, it affected me. But at that age, even at 14, I was able to take that devastation, and it just motivated me. I promised her I was just gonna be something. You know, she always said that I was, uh, that I had talent and stuff. So I just wanted to do that. I wanted to pursue something and become something. So that's honestly when I made my mind. It was like I was 14, man, when I said I'm gonna, in 5 years, something's popping, period.
Right, right. Man, it's just seeing you talk about Grams, man. When I think about that, listening to you say that, and you actually, let's just say today's time, real time, and then you look back at that particular time era, grandma and them really was like the glue. You know what I mean? Like the glue, the motivation and the inspiration always uplifted you and made you feel like you can do anything, huh?
Anything. My mom, she always said it, son. She would use herself for an example. See, she had me at 18, so
Right.
her life was spent on me,
Mm,
right?
mm,
So she always used herself as an example for me to do the opposite with my life, as far as putting caps on your beliefs. You know,
right.
even with all the things she didn't know, she was instilling in me at a young age that I could do anything that I wanted to do. There was no
Right.
such thing as I couldn't do something, no matter what it was. She told me that at a young age, and that just it stuck with me, man. You know,
Right. And you can really tell that it stuck with you because you know how, man, like you just, no matter where you go or no matter what you do, you always kind of stood out special, that special talent. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Whether it
yeah,
was dancing,
yeah.
singing, because the thing that I always admired about you, and it gave me that Michael feel,
Uh,
because people were doing dances and doing different things or whatever, but when you hit the scene, that magic,
mm,
it's like that magic was there. Every now and then you get them special ones that could really, be that combination talent.
yeah.
And you were one of those talents
Oh, thank you,
that
man.
could do it all, amazing with the dance moves. And you could tell that you were always really passionate about the combination aspect of it. True performer, that those elements are important, and we're not really seeing that aspect of it as much. We see a little bit of it, but I don't think as much as, that aspect of it as important as it was around that time. What would you say? We know Michael, but really like wanting to incorporate dance and everything into your artistry.
Well, when I got in, when Troop began, when I got in the group, it was Five of a Kind, and when I got in the group, Rodney and Reggie, they were on New Edition. That was their
Mm.
thing.
Rest in peace, Reggie, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, Reg. And when I first got in the group, it was cool for a second, but I wasn't into it like that. I love New Edition like everybody else, but if we're gonna be a group, I'm not doing New Edition. I'm not
Right,
that route. That was just me. You
right,
know, they're doing that already. So I grew up around legends here in Pasadena: Donna Ray Dixon, Spanky, Delton, Otis. You know, Jeff Donaldson. I mean, I grew up around just awesome dudes, man, right here in Pasadena. So when it was time for us to, and I grew up before I ever did Michael Jackson, man, I was a dancer. I used to pop lock,
right.
and I was popular for pop locking. I'm talking about at elementary.
Man, what you know about that pop
Man,
locking, man?
been doing it since I was a kid, man. My mom taught me how to pop lock when I was a child.
Wow.
Anyway, so I've always been dancing and challenge. And once you get into that kind of experience, once you've experienced competing against somebody dancing, man, giving your all to stand out against somebody dancing. That was what I brought to Five of a Kind. That's what I brought to Troop, was the individuality that uh, I knew would make us stand out, because I've had to be different dancing against people before in my life. So I
Right.
knew that if I was in a group and I wanted my group to go against somebody like New Edition, I know how I can get New Edition. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
that's
right.
how I'm on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But true, that's how we ended up doing what we were doing, man.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I went back and I was looking at some performance clips, man, and I'm talking about really going hard. Like I'm saying to myself, like, man, how these brothers wasn't out of breath, still being able to hit the moves precise and on point, but at the same time still get them notes out.
We
How
want.
difficult is that as a group, as a true performing group like that?
It was tough, man. We all broke down. You know, during the course of touring and stuff. Everybody had their moment where they just couldn't take it and break down, crying.
Right,
Because
right.
tough. We wanted to be the best, man, but we didn't realize us choosing to dance and perform the way that we did. We chose a difficult thing.
Absolutely.
We chose to get down, so that means we have to get down all the time. Every time people see Troop, that's what we do. We get down.
Right.
It was tough, man. We enjoyed every moment of it, but there were times when we were on tour and we would be in the back of the bus and we'd be talking like, man, people just don't know. The average person that see us doing this, man, they think it's fun and they have no idea, man, how tough it is to do what we're doing.
Right.
uh, but uh, we used to watch Michael Jackson on concert, man, and see him dancing and singing in a concert for 2 hours, man, before they
Hmm.
start doing this whatever they do now.
Yeah.
And so that was really a motivation. We wanted to be the best, man. We wanted to, like, New Edition set a standard for us.
Right.
So we wanted to set a standard as well. Like, we wanted to take what New Edition did for us and the Jacksons did for us and turn that into where groups following us would see that and use that as a model to get down and make sure that they the shit. Can I cuss?
No, yeah, absolutely. Be you.
Oh, I'm sorry. And make sure that they're good and we just wanted to set a standard in it, man. That's why whenever we was on tour with Hammer, Keith Sweat, it didn't matter it didn't matter. Gloves on.
Yeah, you didn't y'all didn't feel threatened or intimidated at all.
But there was never. There's no
Let me
such thing. There's no such thing.
let me ask you something, Steve, man. Do you think that that's a mentality? Because I think that that's another thing that put you guys in your own lane. Because like you said, they had the other groups and stuff out there that you guys looked at as well,
Yeah.
but really set a standard and kind of was in your own lane, and everybody says that.
Yeah.
Everybody from performance
Yeah.
to the music, everything. Let me ask you this though, because groups at that time were really, really popular. But being in a group, how difficult can it be with having because each person in the group is their own individual with their own visions, and how difficult is it to get everybody on one page, because it has to be one page in order for it to work properly.
Well, the easiest way to explain it is when the group, when the group is formed, I guess just by the nature of it, there's gonna be a leader. There're gonna be people with ideas that form the way the engine is ran, the way
Right.
the company is ran. There's a CEO. There's somebody who handles the marketing. There's somebody who handles.
Right.
Initially, it starts off with everybody playing their position, and the
Hmm.
position is made by like what it shows. Like if Steve comes in and he says, hey man, I don't want to dance like New Edition no more. All we got to do is all of us dance. All we got to do is do what Rodney does. Learn how Rodney teach us how to do what he do. I teach you the stuff, and we put it together and create our own thing. If everybody agrees to that, and then they see that work, that automatically put the group in a trust for me.
Mm.
They
Mm.
automatically say, okay, this guy ideas is working because that's nice. We're doing this and this looks good. We like this.
Right.
So
Right.
um, after like, and I'm saying that to say in the beginning, it starts off where everybody's playing the position because we just want to win.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if that idea work, if that song works, let's get it, let's do it. Everybody's on board. But then, like, as you get older, everybody starts to turn into that individual, and wants the creative expression. Everybody wants to share the same, their different creative expressions. It can be difficult. Most of the time, it is. Um, and I think it's inevitable for it not to be with different personalities.
Right.
I think that's part of the 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 magic of it. If you say that, I think that's part of the magic of making some things hot is the resistance in certain areas. Sometimes that fuels success. At least in our situation, it did. Um, but it's good and it's tough. Creatively and troop, it wasn't a problem because it got to a point where, once Alan taught me how to write songs, and I decided to conform to writing whatever it took for us to get something that got attention. And Alan is more of a stylist. He's
Right. Right.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
His style is his style, and of course, I respect that. But you know, you might need a I'm not soup to get it on the charts. You,
Right.
you, you get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I was willing to write those kinds of records, and that just it put me in a position where the guys couldn't help but trust me. Like video ideas, it's like, okay, damn, that shit dig, that is hot.
Right.
So that kind of stuff puts you in a position where everybody knows what's going on creatively. We know Steve is going to be in the studio night and day. You know he's going to be cranking out records for
Right.
whatever's. And so in our situation, I didn't get it wasn't too much difficulty creatively just between me and Alan. It was because Alan is such a prolific writer himself. Uh, we didn't always see eye to eye on the content of the music. Alan he wanted to talk about ass and bubble bath back then. You,
Right. Right. Right.
the four of us, we were right out of high school. I was the baby of the group, so I was just out of high school. So there's no way I'm going to talk about. I thought being vulgar was just. I thought that was crazy.
Right. Right.
So anyway, we ran into some difficulties in content, but honestly, for the most part, man, for Troop, fortunately, we were able to beat all of those woes and get the records done and perform them. We were able to beat that stuff.
Right. You know, the thing reason why I asked that, and I like the fact that you always keep it 1,000. Like I said, I've been following you, man, and been a fan for years, man.
Okay.
Always knew you always gonna have your standouts, man.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Not taking nothing away from any of the other group members or anything like that, but it's always a standout.
Just
Now,
how.
it is. Now, um, with and your drive, some are driven more than others, wanting to learn more about not just showing up to work, but how does it work? How
Yeah.
does this work? How does that work? Yeah, I feel like you've always been that guy. Do you feel like as you garnered more knowledge and learn more how to, work the boards and how to songwrite, you become that much more of a threat in the business? Do you feel like that also unconsciously can become a problem um, with other people? Because this is a self thing, because everybody has the same ability and the same want to, you know the opportunities are there, but do you think that sometimes that could also be something that you could be penalized for, to that drive and having that drive and motivation?
No question. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Just
Facts.
the way it's just the way that it is, you know. I've wanted to give so much of myself until sometimes you can overgive other people's givens, you know.
Mm,
Um, and a lot of times when you have that standout in your midst, sometimes you can be so overwhelmed with that person's alignment with himself and with his God that you'll forget about your own alignment and your own self and your own
mm,
how awesome you are.
right,
And that's
right.
usually when things the frequency changes, is when you forget that you're God, and you start noticing it in other people, and a lot of people can't handle that, you know.
Absolutely.
um I mean, and it goes a long way, man. You know, I raise and fly roller pigeons for a profession, and it's the same thing in roller pigeons. You get
Come
good at
on.
pitching, is people gonna hate in that? You know,
Right, right, right,
it
right.
just it's just a part of it, man. It's like it's part of the sacrifice of striving to be great, is to be ridiculed and taken the wrong way. Most of us, we care about what people think about us, so we suffer from that. Somebody
Hmm.
taking you wrong, or you know, it's just something that you go through to help the diamond be more precious is in yourself. You know what I'm saying? To
Right.
help mold you into this thing you came to be, you know. It's just all a part of that, man. It's all a part of making you who you are, and hopefully one day you'll remember that you're a piece of God having a fleshly experience, and all of this was by design because you remembered to love everybody unconditionally, self first.
Mm.
You know, you
Right,
decided
right,
that you were going to appreciate the journeys, the ups, the down, the time you got molested, and how long the ego
right.
kept you shame of being molested like it was your fault. You overcame that and see that it didn't even harm you at all. You know, Uh, once you get to those places, there's a freedom that comes with that. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Uh,
Man,
and for
I
me,
like how you put that too, man. I like I really like how you put that, Steve.
you know, you know,
It's
coming to grips with appreciating the journey is the whole thing, man. You know, the ego, they didn't we weren't equipped with the tools that we needed to play this game, you know.
absolutely.
In any sport you play, you got all the gear that you need plus instructions on how to play that position, and they didn't give us that. They didn't equip our parents with that.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we come here absolutely blind to who we really are outside of the flesh and the name we're given, and the people who raised us, and the things they put into our hard drive, our subconscious hard drives. It's a heck of a game to play unequipped.
Absolutely.
Deep.
Absolutely. And you lose people along the way.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in this business, we see these stories time and time again.
We just lost Reggie.
Absolutely.
Well, you know,
Absolutely.
sense of his flesh. You know.
Right. You know, because coming in the game, like you said, young, you know, excited about, everything, just excited. The lights, man, the lights, the camera, the
Yeah.
fans, all of
Yeah.
that stuff, or whatever. But then, the longer you're in the business, and the lights, you get used to the lights. That stuff becomes second nature to you.
The
And then,
praise.
right, all that stuff. And then, you start looking around, and you're like, you know wait a minute, where's the bread, at the account not looking right,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
um at what point would you say, um you may have gotten to the level to where you were more conscious about the business part of it, the paperwork, where's the money, how's the money being funneled, at what point? Because I always felt like you really caught on to the game
Well,
young.
Again, man, I was fortunate. Gerald Levert, my big brother, rest in peace, man. When we met Levert, Gerald Levert took me under his wing. I was his brother, man. I was his little bro, and he taught me everything. What you're saying,
Hmm.
our management, our production company, we didn't get deep into the business of things, eh, and we had already signed with them, So
Uh-huh.
Gerald
Uh-huh.
Levert and Keith Sweat were the two guys, man, that really taught me about everything quick. So it didn't
Mm.
take long. That's why Troops Run was so fast, because the more you know, you make decisions based on what you know, not knowing there's other business you don't know. You get what I'm
Yeah.
So even though
Yeah.
your business is correct, there's business going on that you're about to interrupt with this right business you want for yourself. You get what I'm saying? It's a
Right.
game played here, and if you get to know too much too fast, you'll mess up the game, and even for yourself. Like, unfortunately, it did for us. Gaining all that information, and then me bringing it back to Alan and sharing it with him and saying, "Hey, man, we're writing all these songs and da da da." I didn't do that for it to disrupt what we had going on, but to just
Absolutely.
prepare us to handle the business going forward correctly. You know,
Right.
but it just didn't go that way, man. Before you know it, man, that's exactly what short stopped our careers from being what it was supposed to be. Was us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why do you think that just from your um experienced opinion, why do you think that that seems to be a problem when you awaken and you understand the dotted line, the very small fine print, and you start asking questions? You know, why is that a problem? Because some people just like, man, looking at it like, man, you're about to mess everything up for us. When in fact it was already messed up for us because we're not garnering what we're supposed to be getting. So it was already messed up from the gate. But why do you think that people process information like that? Um, because we see so many groups, so many artists in this business, man, who are still who are not. I'm not even gonna say broke. Who are just not where they should be at
Yeah, yeah,
financially
yeah.
right now.
Well, first off, once you start awakening, you if that makes you too bold in your knowledge, it might disrupt this business that we signed you for. Like that, you know, I signed you because I can make a play with you.
Mm,
That's gonna help put you in a position too, but it's still my play, you
absolutely.
know. So because I made this play and I want this kind of percentage of this and that, you know.
Which you deserve because the work been put in. Okay.
So uh, it just it can disrupt other business. It's like, I'll put it like this:
I don't like putting you on the spot, my brother.
if if
It's the
we
vibe show,
we
Steve. Come on now.
okay, we raise dogs together.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I got somebody that's gonna bring some dogs that are worth a lot of money, right?
Got you. I'm with you.
I'm gonna charge him. Uh, you only want so much for the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna charge him way more for that for you, and I want you to give me this much back, and you take what you said you wanted.
Mm, okay.
So when you're in, and this is business,
Right.
period. So when you're in that unknowingly, and you just trying to be the best artist, get the best team around you, get the best this, for Troop, when we found out that we weren't signed directly to Atlantic in the beginning on our first deal, to us that was devastating news, and ignorant to the business.
Right.
And we took it too far. We didn't. that's just the nature of the game. Rick James had Mary Jane girls. Prince had the time. It's like production companies have groups.
Right.
It's their play. So anyway, trying to learn shit too early and make moves too fast will destroy you, because the game is set up for you to go through what you're supposed to go through so you can apply that knowledge. There was going to be a time for Steve and Alan and John and Reggie and Rodney to apply this stuff that we were learning, that I
Hmm.
was bringing back to the fellas from the people that I was around, because I was around other people. They used to call me a groupie.
Right.
why
Right.
you
Right.
always why you always over there? And see, to me, I was in school, man. I was
Right.
getting game when I was in the studio with Chucky Booker all that time, man. I was learning a new craft. But anyway, um, you you can mess up the flow with knowledge. It's just like this life. Like, if and this is not to offend anybody. I'm not super religious, but just for instance, if you grow up, let's say Christian, if you grow up Christian, everybody in your house, you come from a strong Christian background, and say you go off to college, and you find a book, and this book piques your curiosity, and you start finding out stuff that you never heard of in your life, but it's like, oh my god, he never said woo woo woo, he did, and
Right.
you bring that back to people who are still fully in Christianity wholeheartedly. That would disrupt the flow of what we believe in and how grandma got us, how we do our thing. What are you talking about?
Hmm. Hmm.
What is this you're talking about, man? You're being tricked. It's like, if you're asleep, if I'm trying not to say it where it sounds like I'm talking about people or something,
I'm
if
with you.
uh when you awaken, here comes the unveiling, like, here's the light.
Right.
The- you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Definitely feeling
everything
that.
when the light is turned on. You hear
Right.
everything when the light is turned on.
Right. Right.
Things don't sound the same and look the same when the light is turned
No, it
on.
don't. No, it don't.
And that's dangerous.
It
And
really is, man.
it's dangerous. And with that comes much suffering and grief, because when the light comes on, you see all the people, you see everything that's going on, where they are, what they know and really don't, even though they may think they do. You like,
Hmm.
dang,
Hmm.
like, whoa, when the light comes on, man, it's a total different experience.
Right. So,
Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus
right.
said, let the eye be single and the body shall be filled with light.
Mm.
You know, and he's talking about the light of the third eye, opening that pineal gland and really seeing in this matrix that you're in, and remember that you're the one that has the power of your experience. You're not a victim of it at any time. Only your beliefs are. You know,
Man.
it's serious.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep
Deep.
right there. And it's so real though, because we I mean, your vision is different now. The way that you view things, the way that you see, and you probably see a whole bunch of stuff and you like,
The
dang.
music business gave me thousands of hours of study time, and I was
Right.
in.
Right.
So I've picked up a lot along the way. Uh, Very, very happy to be reminded that uh, God cannot separate from Himself,
Mm.
and that the kingdom of heaven is within me, and I create my own experience by my beliefs. I think that's the biggest reminder. I'm so happy to be reminded of that. And then be taken to a past where I was a child dancing on the street with police being called because the music was too loud, and not even be there, really be in front of thousands of people. And I'm dancing on the street with my boys, doing
Right.
it in ignorance,
Right.
aligning with that which I want, you
Man,
know? So
that's deep, man. Yo, that's deep. Do you feel R&B has lost its touch though with the true essence of the connection with those personal feelings and experiences like like the classic like when I want that feeling, Steve, like I gotta go back and listen to True, Spread My Wings, and I gotta go back to capture that feeling, or like dang, they I went through that experience too, like, or this helped me get through this relationship situation, or like I gotta go back to get that feeling. Do you feel like R&B has lost that, being combined when they combined it with hip hop, R&B, and all this and all that?
you
It's
hit it
like,
right on the head. You hit it right on the head. When they combined it and forced R&B into a hybrid thing, it's like, I love the creativity of the hybridness. Beat dude's been sampling since I was a kid, man. James
right,
Brown been being sampled for years, but when it was hip hop, it was its own thing. It's beautiful,
right.
but nobody forced hip hop to be anything other than hip hop. They forced R&B to be this trap hip hop thing now. And if you're Jasmine Sullivan, you're like on some different type of R&B, and it's pretty sickening for me the way my mom raised me and the kind of music that made me who I am. Uh, I have no hate in me about anybody creating. I understand what creation is, but it has shifted majorly from love to, we've always had lust in our music, so I can't say that, but I think the medicine side of music has totally disappeared. Nobody's doing music. I won't say anybody. The majority of music that's promoted is not about being medicine for people.
Hmm.
It's more of a frequency to encourage a frequency. It's a whole different
Mm.
game going on with it.
Right, right. How
So
do you just adjust, or how do you navigate through that? Do you just, I mean, of course you got to make the adjustments, and be a chameleon in this thing, but how do you still, because I feel like they have reconditioned the ears and acceptance, um
the
in
free
yeah, the frequency is just, I feel like it's programmed now, to where it's got people listening to music now, like if it doesn't sound like this, then I'm not even really feeling it, like, because I don't hear that what they're
thing.
forcing on me. Yeah,
Sad. It's true. That starts at the labels, man. You know, but little do people know that there's an agenda. You
let's
know,
talk about that. Let's talk about that.
you got people living really, really lavish, extravagant lives, um, off of the kind of music that we push, you know, as the forefront music. I think that all music should have an expression, but I think, with music being as powerful a weapon as it is,
Hmm.
we need to consider what we're promoting to our people. And I mean black people. I'm black, so I'm talking about our people. I think we need to be more considerate of what we consider to be hot to our own, because everything is energy, everything is frequency. It's not so much the words, it's the energy behind it that keeps you in a bubble.
Mm.
And if everybody's in that frequency, that's just what you're in. So for me personally, excuse me, I have my own media company. So I produce my own music. I stay true to what I love. My mom transitioned a few years back, and when
Sorry
she,
to hear that, man.
a lot changed in me, and as far as my perception of what people think, like that really sat in strong when she passed, man. It was like, okay, I was done with that. You know,
Right.
even
Right.
even being so hungry to become babyface, none of that mattered anymore. I
Right.
could care less who likes a song or something. It just totally left in that sense of me searching as if the feeling that I'm gonna get from becoming another baby face, I can't capture that feeling without doing those things. And once I realized that I can decide to feel good in my backyard with my pigeons, hey, I was in heaven.
Right.
I didn't have to pursue and have things on as idols in my lives unknowingly. You know, this thing is on a pedestal. This thing is on a pedestal. Everything is a god around me but me. You know,
Right. Right. Right.
you know.
Hey, and what you saying that um do you think that well you know because you've been in the game for years, man. Do you think that artists are limited with what they can actually do from a creative standpoint um, in the game? Because I feel like they're just, it has to be this way or no way at all.
Well, you got to remember, man, you got kids, bro, that's doing beats now. And I'm not
Hmm.
saying producing,
You're
but
right, because there's definitely a difference.
I got an 8-year-old son, man, that's trying to tell me how to produce, bro.
Come on, man.
I'm telling you, I'm so honest, man. You got kids that are programming beats and got the hottest beat now. So all of that stuff that you're putting in there, dad, all those strings and stuff, take that out.
It's too much.
It's too
We just
much,
need
man.
three sounds, Dad. That's all we
Listen,
need.
I'm telling you, it's different, man. It's different now. We're in a different frequency right now. And the only way it's going to change is if guys like me who come from a certain genre, me, Big Bub, Raphael Sadiq, all of the guys that I know, Tank, just everybody, if all of us stick to R&B like the way Tank is doing, he's doing a great job of just sticking to the
He
real.
really is.
He's doing his job. So if we all do that, we'll get our frequency back because women are still the same. They've just accepted what has been given to them, but they still love to be talked to sweet, and they still love to be maneuvered into feeling. It doesn't have to
Right.
be the way that it is right now. It, it,
What is it right now, Steve? I mean, that's my
why
thing.
it's wide open. And to answer your question about producers being blocked into being not expressive, I don't know. I think that right now is the time of everybody expressing themselves exactly the way they want, and that's why everything is so chaotic. Remember when we grew up, you had Philadelphia Sound,
Mm-hmm.
Motown, a few
Mm-hmm.
other labels
Mm-hmm.
that was controlling the music, not controlling, but giving
They
us
was
the
running. Yeah.
love. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Motown gave a lot of artists, bro. We had Stevie. Most of our music came from one controlled sound where it wasn't going to be all over the place.
Right.
So now that you have the internet and people can upload a song in 5 days, you're going to get all kind of songs. You're going to get, I'm praying to get a TikTok hit. I'm
Right.
praying to get something to catch on because it's going to go straight to the charts.
Right.
That's just the way the music is now. But I'm going to always do real music, man. I'm going to always do music with content. I was saying earlier about my mom and how it made me feel then. Now, um, today, I've gotten over all of the low energy feelings that I had to fight through being depressed. Going through
Mm-hmm.
that. And now, I'm refreshed. With Reggie passing, rest in peace. I let a lot of stuff go, man. So today, I'm not the same Steve I was even a week ago in the sense of how I feel and what I'm getting ready to do and what I'm getting ready to accomplish. just by
right,
stepping back into the momentum I've already created. Uh, I feel good, man. I'm a rocket to the wheel fall off. As long as I got this body, I'm rocking out, man. Period.
right. You know, watching the Unsung, I thought that I thought that it was cool, but I felt like I just it was a few things that bothered me. I didn't like because you know to someone who's just watched, like I said, I was a big fan of Truth. You feel
Okay.
what I'm saying? And like seriously, so um, I just felt like, and correct me if I'm wrong. This is just the way it made me feel. I felt like it was cool, but I also felt like it kind of painted you um in a selfish light in a way. You feel and that bothered me because um
It
I
bothered
just
my mom too.
I just didn't think that that was cool the way that they painted the vision of you, and I felt like a lot of elements were left out of it. I didn't think that that was the way that it all really went.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a safe TV show. It was done well. No pun to the guys who did it. Nice show, but it was very safe, and it did
For
not.
them, for
It
them,
yes, and for Alan,
absolutely.
and for Alan, Alan wasn't in the group at the time. Um, so when I hustled up the Unsung situation, here's Steve again. When that comes up, even though I'm not talking, he's the first person I call. Hey, bro, we got Unsung. So
Hmm.
just tell your story the way you want. Let's rock out.
Right,
Ain't
right.
nobody ain't gotta hide. Just I'm like it's open. But
Yeah,
I was excited that it was something that could pull us together to have a story, and it didn't work that way.
it absolutely
Like
didn't.
nah, this can't be talked about. This can't be talked about. And Alan is my big brother. I'm not painting him any other way because I love him. I just got off the phone with him anyway. Then he was an asshole to me, and he acted like that, and that's how I felt. So
Right,
anyway, he didn't want certain things said on the show, and they went with it, and that's what you felt when you saw it, because it went opposite of the exact way I wanted it to be, raw like everybody else's. But you
what did
know
mom say? What did mom say? And I want to know like how you felt when when you watched it.
Well, I appreciated it. The way my mom raised me, man. I appreciated it. I accepted the the self, like I was trying to do this or that. I accepted that because in every group, you got somebody that's gonna get it done in spite of anybody saying what can't be done, and I was that guy.
Hmm. Right,
Chucky Booker wasn't available. I was gonna learn how to produce myself. If I didn't have an engineer available, I'm going to learn how to engineer myself. you
right,
know I just finished my first film, and I shot it myself. I directed it and edited it myself,
right,
because it just because somebody's not around or available, I'm just not the kind of person that feel like I'm hindered in that way.
right,
you know
right.
so I've been that way since I was a kid, man. And I know I got on the group's nerves. I know I got on the nerves being so forceful about, nah, man, we need to lean, man. I'm telling you, we need to lean, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right,
trying to keep you hot. You
right,
feel me?
right, right,
And that's just me, man. That's just what I was on. So I know I was on my brother's nerves in a lot of instances, but they trusted me overall, and we accomplished everything that we wanted to do. It was short lived for us because we didn't realize we came here for an expansion of love, unconditional love ourselves, and remembering this God, that we're God. So having the fame and experiencing God in the flesh was the first part to prepare us for what you're getting ready to go through now.
right, right,
You get what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
It's real. You done felt it. Now here
Hey,
you go. You know,
trust me.
Now we're
Yeah,
gonna challenge that. Are you Reggie? Are you this big Reggie? Are you this big Steve? You get me?
yeah,
Do
yeah.
people do people love you? Is your music good? Was the
Uh-huh.
deeper album a failure? You know, the
Yeah.
challenges come of life after that, you know, and to sit here, man, and to be able to talk about it from the perspective, thank you, that I'm able to look at it from is so, it's a blessing, man. You know, to be able to appreciate it, knowing that I wasn't a victim. It was all about learning from each thing that I felt I was stumbling over. That was a
Mm,
lesson. That was a lesson. Not to kill yourself over, not to beat yourself over, only to get the lesson so that you can get to the next one. And that I'm so happy to know that and still have my body. So next time I come, I don't have to deal with this shit. I'll be dealing with something else. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
A new experience. Yeah, definitely, man. I'm definitely feeling that 1000. You know, it's um transitioning into a solo situation. What was that like mentally for you? Because being accustomed to being in a group for such some time, transitioning to doing a solo thing is a whole nother ball game. What
Yeah.
was that transition like for you? Was it difficult, or I know we're not even talking about the talents, we're talking about mentally.
Yeah. Great question, man. It was tough for me because I was the only child growing up. So when I got in troop, that was heaven for me to have some brothers.
Hmm.
So you know, a guy like me would call it that, you know.
Right, right, right.
And I was accustomed to it, and it was tough because it was almost forced because there was no more troop energy, there was no more closeness in the real way.
Mm,
So I was forced to make a decision to, you know, start Motel Music Media and start putting out your own music now. Just start getting your, you know, what whoever messes with you, just start putting out music for these people. So a good friend of mine, man, I was debating whether I wanted to do a solo record, the first So Random album.
hmm.
And one of my buddies, man, a good friend of mine, man, Bobby Wilson, man, he sent me a picture. He went and found a picture of me and had somebody turn it into an album cover, bro.
Come on.
He sent me the picture, the album cover of my new album. Like, come on, man, let's get your shit done.
Right,
And that was my motivation to get So Random done, is when he sent me the picture and I saw myself solo. I was like, okay, damn, okay. And it wasn't even about me having a major deal or anything, you know.
right,
I
right,
knew it was independent. I knew it was all me. I knew thousands of millions of people never even know or hear about it. But just to adjust that I was doing that, it was I shook with it for a minute, but once I started recording and once I got a manager, Lawana Taylor. She took me everywhere. You know, she was out of college, so you know when you come from a black college, everybody in the business is your friend. So,
absolutely.
oh man, I was all over the place with that So Random stuff, man, and it showed me that again, like when my mom taught me when I was young, believing in myself and all that. It's like I had to go through that again, you know, and believe that people will come and see me sing my music and sing an old troop song or two, and people will just enjoy me. And I was glad I did that.
Right,
I was glad because now, you know, I can just build a catalog of my music and do what I do, and I'll always be able to entertain people that fucks with Steve. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Uh, and that's fine with me. You know,
right,
if you dig Troop and you like you love us, we love you, and I'm the same way. You know, and it's people that there's Troop fans that support my album. My music sells. You know what
right.
I'm saying? My music
Facts.
sells. I am the CEO owner of my company, and my music sells.
Right,
Uh, Content that I put out so far generates a decent amount of money for me, and nothing is promoted. Nothing is anything besides, you know, what I do on social media and stuff. So the fans really show up. They do show up, man. You
right.
know, and that's what it is for me. But I made the transition pretty cool, man. You know, once you're forced to do something, if Alan ain't gonna come and sing the second verse, what you gonna do?
Right, right,
That
right.
Sweet November shit on the documentary, you know, talking about I took
Exactly.
his vocals. Oh yeah, right. I'm just teasing with you, Alan, man.
Hey,
But yeah,
man. That's crazy though, man. You know, couple solo albums, tons of music written for written hits for so many different amazing artists that we all love.
Yeah.
With all of the accomplishments and everything that you've accomplished in all of these years, having a great career, what would you say is something that you actually regretted in this experience?
That I would what?
That you regret?
Dang, man. Shit, I just got over all my regrets. um, I if there's one thing that I regret, man, is what we talked about earlier. Getting all of the information that I got from Gerald Levert and Keith Sweat, that information was for me. It wasn't for everybody, and I didn't know that. I regret taking that information back to the group, causing a whirlwind of disruption between the business we had going on because we felt we learned something and this contract doesn't abide by what we learned. I regret doing that. And the second regret is there was an opportunity for us to go with Hammer's brother, Louis Burrell, my buddy, friend of mine, to go with his management company for Troop
I was gonna ask you about that too.
or not. You
Right.
know, I couldn't tell the story on Unsung, but I was already working with Louis Burrell, making making more money with Louis Burrell than I was on tour with Troop.
Come on.
And me and Louis Burrell never had a Troop conversation, bro.
Come
You
on.
understand? We
Wow.
never had a Troop conversation. I produced his group Special Generation. He had a Troop. He didn't care about Troop. He didn't want to, people think he wanted to take over. He didn't want to manage Troop. Alan went to Lewis about Troop. I was already over there making money. Alan saw me getting down once again. But this time I was on some solo shit because it was producing. And
Right.
Alan already made it clear that we wasn't writing partners like that. So I was off to the races. So when Lewis came to me and heard that song that I did on the Whispers, you know, he was like, yo, because I was avoiding, I knew he didn't like Troop. I heard him on the phone talking shit when they were negotiating the tour prices.
Right.
I took it personal what I heard, and I realized that's business. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, he was looking for me for a long time, but and long story short, when he caught up to me, he paid me. I produced everything he wanted me to produce, and I regret going along with my big brother Alan in the decision to go with their management for Troop because that destroyed everything and it destroyed the business that was in tow, I should say.
Hmm.
It didn't destroy everything. That was our perception. It only destroyed the business that was in tow about the dogs, me bringing you the dogs. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That was
Right.
disrupted. You
Wow.
know, I wanted, Louis Burrell wanted full price for the dogs, my nigga. Louis Burrell was sitting
Yeah.
on about 20 million.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
when he approached the label, he was like, I already know what they've generated. Hey, and this is what we need to get these guys. And the record companies don't be too excited about that kind of shit, man. You would be surprised. People don't really want you to have nothing in the sense they don't care. It's more about them, which is wonderful.
Hmm.
But when you start caring about you and making decisions, you got to get out the nest and go and do your own thing. So it's no issue. But if your business sense now has you out of pocket with the business that I got you in, go on and do your thing. And that's I respect the label. You guys go on and do your things. Try it somewhere else. And
Right.
and, and when you have that mindset where you want to be the boss, you got to go through boss things.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
sacrifice. That's sleeping in your car. That's nobody loves you at times. That's feeling like the world is against you. You got to go through boss things, man. So I made it, man. I'm back to me. I'm back to that guy that my mother raised. Reggie took all of the depression, all of the sad, old, anything that was haunting me in any way, any unforgiveness for myself about what I did or didn't do. He took all that. So I feel amazing right now. And I'm getting ready to write a million new, brand new songs. Uh, I'm just getting ready to live an immaculate life like I never have before with my family and my children, man. Uh, and I'm a feel good on purpose, period. You know,
That's amazing. That's what I want. That's what I want to hear, and I could see it. I could just see that all over you, man. Like that glow. You know what I mean? That just like you just look free mentally.
depression is real.
Yeah. You
There's
know,
walking around with depression right now and don't know it.
absolutely. Absolutely. Let me ask you about Sia, man. I'm talking about crazy talented. It's amazing. Yeah, you know, written songs for some amazing artists as well. You know, Apple definitely didn't fall far from the tree. How do you feel when you know, aside from her being your talented daughter, aside from that, just from an artist perspective, how do you feel about Sia Moon?
Um, I'm a fan. I stayed out of the way on purpose to let her develop herself and be who she wanted to be without
I was
my
gonna ask you that too, Steve. 'Cause I had a bone to pick with you. I was gonna ask you about that. Like, you know, I'm like, we talking about this Stephen Russell Hart's daughter. So I was talking to I was talking to the station VP about this, and I was talking to Leanne about this. I'm like, I don't like Steve can walk in any office
yeah.
at any time.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. I had to
No,
put that.
it's all good.
See, that's my girl now.
Yeah, no, I wanted to, I started out as a producer young. She started at 12. She got on my nerves so much singing all the time until I finally, she did some kind of run one time. I was like out here with my pigeons.
Right, right,
She was like, I'm just turning 12 and she did some run. And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I went and I cut her first song and she cut it. I mean, the girl was just a star at 12, man. So, um, I attempted to be the first one to produce her, and it didn't go well. She got a boyfriend or something in the middle of me getting ready to really invest my energy into it, and it pissed me off. So I just left it completely alone. Period. And I allowed her to grow. If that was something she was going to pursue, she was going to have to pursue it on her own, and she did. She was true to it, and now she's Sia. She's gained right knowledge and she's got a God name. She's so awesome. My mom helped raise my daughter, so she's like my little sister. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
A fan of hers. So I'm executive producing her next album. Uh,
Oh,
yes, sir.
uh-oh.
She's gonna be with her dad on her next album, and I'm getting ready to baby face her ass, Jimmy Jam and Terry her ass off
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
here. I'm gonna give it. I haven't done any music since my mom's passing, in the sense of out, like, producing on anybody. So this is the first project of me being back to me, and I'm doing it with my daughter. And like I said, I'm a fan of Sia's. So I would love to see her use her potential on an album where she has an album that's produced on purpose,
Mm,
like a Control album, like
yeah.
those kinds of albums. So we're gonna take our time and we're gonna produce Sia. I'm putting a team of producers and writers together, and the vision that I have for thank God I was exposed to so much different music from my mom. Thank you. So all and the relationship that I have with Source when it comes to creating is very strong. So the downloads that I receive, I trust.
Hmm, hmm.
So she's gonna have an amazing project. I'm honestly super excited to even be working with her, to be honest, and it's my dang daughter.
I already know that whatever with that combination right there is going to be sure magic, and I'm gonna make sure that I keep my hands in the pot because I want the exclusive. I need to get
That's
both of
right.
y'all back on here. We want to help promote it. We want
Okay.
to help whenever y'all ready, whatever the rollout is. We want to assist and help with that because I know one thing. That's to the moon. That's
Thank you,
it's
man.
over with. I
Well,
know this. I
man.
know this. She talked about it in the interview because, you know, I didn't at that point I didn't even know that that was your daughter.
Wow.
So when we talked about that in conversation, she brought you up and she was
Okay.
talking about the experience and the name sound. I'm like, and I just made a big deal once I found out. But I'm like, man, that's your dad. I'm like, man, you serious? You got to go back and watch that interview, man. It was
I
super
gotta
dope,
check that out.
man. It was. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, send
Super
that to me, man. I'm gonna
dope,
post.
amazing interview, man.
Wow.
Let me ask you this. Your honest opinion
Uh huh.
with so many years in the game, the accomplishments, the highs, the lows, and with all of the knowledge that you know right now at this present time, do you honestly feel like the music industry will ever be fair to the artist?
Um. Well, it never has. So who am I to say it ever will be? Um. Thank God we're in a season where artists can release and receive and have direct access to their audience directly. Thank God for that. Um, the only way the music business is going to be fair is if it's the creator's business. If it's the artist's business, that's the only way it's going to be fair.
Because I
In
asked you that, not to cut you off, I asked you that because we still, even with what you're saying right now, we still in a controlled space. You're not really independent because you got to go through the streaming services. You got to go through the Spotify's, which is the labels, basically. You got to go through sound. I mean, you got to go through these streaming services, which is still basically the labels, and you're still not garnering full
100%.
income.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. They're
So
making money off
that
me.
that's what I'm saying. So you gotta still sell you gotta have so many millions of streams. If you're not Beyonce, Justin Bieber, people, Lady Gaga, these people, you're not really seeing, a good income even off the streams. So my question again: do you think that the industry, streams and all that, because it's still an industry, will ever be fair to the artist, or will there ever be another outlet other than going through the gauntlet?
Well, um, for me personally, you know, um, I'm just creating my own streaming service right now,
Oh
called
my God! Thank you.
uh, and for me, that's the only way that I can answer that question honestly for myself. Is I want to stream my own independent films. I want to find independent filmmakers that I see that are super talented. I want to do. I'm streaming hundreds and hundreds of classic old films from the 20s and 30s.
Thank you, Steve.
Producing my own music, my own movies, and I'm just going to create a platform to open the door for others, like you said, like the bosses we still work for, the companies we still pay. I'm gonna do the same thing. Um, and once, hopefully before I'm out of my body, I can experience where my people are investing in their own, knowing it's their own. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right.
uh, wanting to create a situation where um, uh, it's you based. You,
Exactly.
you know,
Yes.
you bias.
Yes. Yes.
But I don't know.
That's a no, that's a dope name too, Steve. By the way, you
You bias.
biased.
Ooh, come on, come on. Ooh, that is.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
gonna use that too. I like that.
Absolutely.
Hot.
I love it. I love it. And because you know what it does? It raises questions when you're doing when the big launch, which I'm gonna be there with the cameras and everything and interview. And because we already done spoke this to existence, Steve.
Yeah,
So it's just gonna happen.
yeah,
And it's gonna raise the questions of what does the name actually mean? And you're gonna be able to explain that.
yeah. You buy
And
it.
that's gonna devastate everybody because they're not gonna want to hear that.
I love that, man. And that's what it's about for me, because when people create a business, man, you're creating that business to provide a life for yourself. So you can't hate on Apple and all of these other things. It's like we use them. So I want to be on the other side of that and create something that people use, like diapers. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I want to have a streaming company right here that doesn't take as much as that streaming company right there, and still gets your music in all the stores. You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna go for it, man.
Do
Uh,
you think that you'd have um, support on that? Because of course, um, it would be nice to have some other investors that like-minded and feel the same way on that whatever. We might not be able to go to everybody because you already know,
right.
it's more of them than it is of
Yeah.
us. So
Tough.
I think with putting the business plan together or whatever, and then we also got it might have to be done secretly,
Yeah.
because sometimes that
More
information
like
get out to the secret agents, then they take that on back to the, what I'm saying, and then we just shut all the way down completely.
block
There's no
blockers.
right, right.
Yeah. We need it, man. We need to look at ourselves the way the other races look at us, instead
Mm,
of perceiving what the way we perceive them to look at us as the truth. Because the way
absolutely.
the other races look at us is not the truth of what we are to them, in
Right.
the sense of the glory that they witness with their eyes.
Ooh, come on now.
Right?
Come on,
We're
Steve.
powerful. Let me tell you something, man. I'm 5'7", 185 pounds, right? I
Hmm.
can walk into an elevator right now of six all white people, and all of them turn red and feel something. And I'm the nicest guy on the planet.
Right. Always have been.
So
Right.
I've done, instead of accepting the racial implications that people have, and I just use white people for example. I could care less what race. Um, uh, we I've decided to look at the power that's in it and say,
Mm,
"Whoa, that's pretty powerful right there. You can upset our entire room, man, and you
right.
just walked in there.
Right.
That's not a bad thing. That's
It's
not a
not.
down. Oh no, we're looking at it wrong. It's time for black people to turn around and look at it for what it is. It's a lot of power glowing off of this skin that these other eyes can see. But we believe what is taught against us by those we worship. Once we
Man,
get
that's deep.
once we get out of worship of the people who teach us, we're gonna be fine. But we worship we worship our enemy. We worship our physical enemy.
Have you ever thought about like because I don't know if we would ever really get the real answer because it's so many different theories. But have you ever? You probably have. Thought about like why are the most talented beings on the planet, and we have mastered um, every craft. Um, why are is that our race so hated like that?
First of all, hate begets hate.
Mm,
There has to be a lot of inside hate in that magnet for it to attract that much hate.
mm,
Black people do not know who they are.
Damn.
And I'm not talking about what African ancestors they come from.
Right, right, absolutely.
Black people do not realize that we are a piece of God, a piece of source, having a physical experience. We believe that black is bad. We believe what our enemy has taught about black.
The black cat and all this.
Black. We're in the mindset of an enemy that feels a certain way about us, and we feel that same way about ourselves.
Damn.
So you can't attract anything else but hate. Of course, Mexicans are going to hate you. Of course, Asians are going to hate you. Of course, white people are going to hate you. You have no clue of who you are.
That's deep,
You
Steve.
have, you can't, you don't even exude the power that you had. Oh, if I was black. Oh, if I had that skin and had this mindset that I have. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you've been spellbound for generation after generation after generation after generation, it becomes the the energy that is produced. Even it becomes like in your DNA. The downtrodden, you're so far from God, you don't even. There's no way that you can be a part of God and exist in this bubble, and you're it the whole time.
Wow.
This is why the scriptures say the multitudes of you will not make it. And he's telling you the kingdom of heaven is within you. So for you not to make it there, that means you have been spellbound against self completely. You have no idea or remembrance. You have no remembrance that you're God, that you can go back to godly physical ancestors as a black person. If you don't have enough proof that it's in you, you can look back. There's things that are still in existence right now with your mama's face on it. I went and saw it for myself, so couldn't nobody tell me different. I
Wow.
went and looked at the lines in between the stones at the pyramid myself, so couldn't nobody tell me what I think created it. You get what I'm saying?
Ooh.
We can we're much we're everything we want to be and don't even know it.
Damn.
When we do know it, you get a Jordan. When we do know it, you get a Magic. When we do know it, you get a Kobe. When we do know it, you get a Michael Jackson. When we do know it, you get a James Brown. When
For
we do
Stephen
know it,
Russell Hart.
when you do know it, you get a Steve Russell. Somebody who knows what they are.
Right, 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 right. Man, you own one right now.
That's everybody's job here while you still have your flesh, is to focus on that alignment, that self. That voice inside of you that gives you direction without explanation is not called intuition. That is your higher self. That is your source self. That is the air that you breathe on the back of your hand that you feel but you cannot see. That is
Mm.
the God self giving you information and giving you downloads at all times. If only you would turn inward and listen. When you get a bunch of explanations in your mind, oh no, you need to go over here to get this. You need to, that's ego. You always got to be doing something. You're not doing enough. You're not good enough. People are watching. All of that's the ego self. And they didn't equip us with the knowledge to know that that's the biggest battle, is that inside work with the ego. Before you even get out to into the world and deal with other people, you have to deal with that ego self that hates you, that wants you to remember that people called you ugly when you were 3, that wants you to think that because you didn't have a dad, you're no good, like it tried to do me. You know, there's a lot of self-work to be done, because self-work is going to show the outside manifestations. If you don't know that you're able to close your eyes and focus and feel good about the things you want, and imagine yourself there, imagine yourself on stage, imagine yourself walking through your new home, just imagine yourself where you want to be, that moves the universe. People
Wow.
don't realize it, but we let it rule the universe for us in a negative way. When we feel sad about stuff, when we feel sad about stuff, uh, we immediately attract more sad and more down. We don't use the universe the opposite way,
That's
like
a fact.
like Troop did, having the audacity to think you're good as New Edition and you're in Pasadena. The universe said, "Oh wow, you guys got some audacity here. Let me give you a record deal."
Right.
That's how the universe works for us. And it's not about working hard. It's about aligning with those things that you want. I want to say, just as a reminder to people that are listening, when you pray, be very careful that you're in alignment with what you're praying for. Don't feel down and sad and go to prayer about anything because you are not being heard. The frequency that you're praying to cannot match that low feeling of lack. It's like this: if God is everything that you're praying to Him for, why do you feel like you're in lack?
Wow.
If God is everything to you and your beliefs that you say is, how can you believe it's impossible to do? What's in your way? And it's you praying to Him and going to church, praising Him, but you still feeling wondering where your next check is going to come from.
Come
Where's
on, Steve,
God at?
man.
There's no
Talk
God.
to me, Steve.
There's no God in it. So make sure, religious or non-religious, that you are attached to the frequency of that thing, that feeling that you want. We only want to accomplish things because there's a feeling attached to it.
Mm.
Once you get that feeling in your mind, meditate 15, 20 minutes a day and go back to that feeling every day of how good it feels to be a millionaire, how good it feels to be successful, receiving the Grammy, and watch the universe somehow manifest these things for you without you even leaving the house. Am I
There we
back?
go. We back. No,
And
we
watch
back.
the universe manifest these things for you without you even leaving the house. We manifested our record deal, and I have the proof. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
closing my eyes and not being on the streets, bro. I remember at some point in rehearsal where I was on stage. You get it? And I felt
Yeah.
like I was on stage. Remember, it's the feeling that creates the universe to move. Belief creates a feeling. If you feel bad in your mind and the world is against you, you're going to feel like the world is against you, and the universe is going to give you that. He's going to bless you with that because that's prayer. That energy is what you're casting, and that's what the universe is going to give you back. It's at your it's at your will. You get that's what
Man.
mercy is that if you can realize that the energy that you put out is back for you, you put out good energy. You don't feel bad for that homeless person when you give them money. You just tell them, I'm adding to your wealth. You're under the same universal force as me. You're choosing a experience right now, whether you know it or not. You don't have to say
Right.
all that, but just
Right.
tell them you're adding to their wealth and keep it moving. You know, um, we are the author of what we experience.
Man, that's deep.
Period. And if you
Hmm.
can remember that you're the boss of it and you're not the victim of your life, if you can only remember we're not victims of our experience, you're creating it. If you're in a situation with people and you're wondering how you got with those people, there's something in you that matches those people. And
Right.
you have to address it. You understand?
Yes.
Be afraid. The most scariest thing in the world is to be to turn inward and accept you for who you are and those faults you think you have and release yourself of judgment
Mm.
and rid yourself of what other people think of you and detach yourself from material things. That's the hardest thing for people to do.
Right.
People, their lives, their whole lives, everything they do is based on obtaining material things so that they feel a certain way about themselves.
Man.
When you can feel that way on purpose, no matter what's going on, you can choose it, knowing that you're attached to something that's waiting to show you your audacity is going to be matched 100-fold. And
Right.
I'm not talking religion, I'm talking
Right.
energetically.
Right.
I already know that I'm getting ready to attract great things because I've been there before. I remember the depression light is over, the light is back on. I remember, oh shit. I said I wanted to be like Babyface. I got 3 Grammys. I don't have 100, but
Right.
Steve worked up on 3, wanting to be like Jimmy Jam and Terry. You feel me?
Right.
So
Right.
back to that, you know what I'm saying? And I would advise anybody when you get those downloads, that voice that's telling you to write the book, that voice that's telling you to apply for the next position, regardless of what the rumor has it that it's impossible for you to get it, do it. Do it. And please, once again, when you are in asking for something, make sure you're feeling so good and high Make sure you're feeling so good and so high that it matches the universe and it obliges you. If you're low when you're in asking and you feel like you're without and you don't know how you're going to make it, there's nothing to hear you but that. The only God that's going to respond is the God of that energy.
Man.
We have to learn that because that's why we stay in a bubble. We believe black is bad, man. We believe it. We believe that white people are more powerful than us. We believe that we're not smart enough. We believe that something is wrong with us for us to allow this to be done to us instead of us rising within ourselves, knowing we got to love unconditional because that's what attracts. You want to
Hmm.
attract this thing. So once we love ourselves, once I can look at you when I pass you at the gym and say, "What's up, bro?
Right.
Grand, bro," and have a love in my heart because that's a part of me right there. Once we feel like that, blacks are confused when they see the white people take a white serial killer in unharmed. They're confused by that. Black people don't understand it because they know they'll shoot us for pulling out your driver's license,
Right. Absolutely.
but they're not one of us. We were taught wrong. It's not the same. They don't look at those eyes that they have. They don't see what you think they see. But when it comes to their own, they know what they're gonna protect that. A guy just shoot up a whole bunch of people in the store. The guy said he had a bad day. That's some cold shit.
Right.
That's some powerful shit for you. And if you can't see that and realize who you're dealing with from that guy's statement and the position that he carries, you're in trouble. If self-love is not in the future for black people, we are in trouble. If the devil tells you, hey, there's something going on, man, and hey, you need to take this pill because it's gonna affect you first.
Right.
I'm gonna check the history of how much you love me before I take your pill. I'm gonna check and see how much love you got for me in the past and have had for me before with the pills and see if I should take it now. I'm just gonna
Well,
see.
let me ask you this: with saying that being that you're really on one right now,
Oh, I'm
let me
sorry.
ask. Oh no, I love this right here. Let me ask you. Let me get your COVID opinion. The vaccine.
Well,
In all honesty.
uh, I'm gonna treat COVID like politics. I'm not gonna say shit.
Okay.
Just want people to realize that everything is an energy, and that what you believe, you shall so experience. That's
Hmm.
all I can say. Whatever, if you have a fear of COVID, fear has, COVID has gained a place on your worship mantle. You're going to experience it in some form of fashion. Everything is a frequency. If you don't want to exist in it, you have to turn the television off. You have to stop worrying about the cases and how many cases, because the people that give you the numbers, the people that promote it to you, is the same people that's going to give you the cure. The same person, the same people who said weapons of mass destruction were the same people who went over there and didn't find any and still killed everybody.
Mm,
So, and the same people behind the buildings coming down. So,
absolutely.
at some point, we have to, as a race of people, and I always talk for black people because I don't know how to speak for anybody else. So I don't want to seem like I'm this or that, but I'm black, so be it. Black people, no matter what's going on, have to keep our ears and eyes open. We need to let our eyes do more talking than our ears per se. Like when it comes to something like COVID, we need to be very aware and looking around you. It's very important. But for me personally, to answer your question as fast as I can about COVID, because I respect anybody who's lost anybody from it. Um, I could have had it before they called it COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who
Right.
knows? Um, me personally, I don't live in a COVID existence. Um, and that's just me. That's just the world that I live in. I haven't experienced anything with it. I haven't witnessed anybody sick. I haven't seen anybody fall out. I haven't experienced any of this devastating virus that's going around. I play golf. I see thousands of homeless people on a daily, weekly basis. None of the homeless people are sick. So if there's a virus that's going around picking and choosing, just wear our mask and be careful. That's all I can say.
Wow. And listen, what can we look forward to in the future? Because now it's a new glow. It's a new free mind. Your mind is clear. Your thoughts are clear. You're inspired again. You know what I mean? The pen, the thoughts, the ideas, the knowledge. I sense great music on the way. I sense new projects. I sense a whole. I just see something in your eyes, brother. That's finna wow us again. We finna do this again.
Yeah,
What
totally.
what can we expect if you could drop any tidbits on us? What we can look forward to?
Well, you can look forward to my first my 8 episode series, Day Ones. It's my first film. Uh, um I love it. It's starring my son and
Oh,
my
that's dope.
godson. It's like a mix between Menace to Society and Snow in the Bluff, some hood
Oh,
shit.
that's gonna be
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, 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 yeah.
California, these two kids growing up. One of the kids' father is trying to implement some right knowledge into his son, letting him know that he's creating this experience that he's having, but they so caught up in the streets that they're trying to work their way out of the streets. So I'm excited about Day Ones. That's coming soon. Um, and you can expect. I've been talking shit about my big brother Alan during the interview, which is fine. We just dropped uh, a new single, "Lady in My Life." Me and my bro Alan. Uh,
Uh,
you know,
which
uh,
I don't have exclusively. I need to get that so I can put that
yeah,
in rotation ASAP.
we have a new record, man, and it is an absolute smash. We remade Michael Jackson's "Lady in My Life," and we have a project that we're working on called Inky and Enlil.
Mm,
Um, and I'm excited about that. Me and Alan had differences for so many years. Two alpha males trying to exist in one room. It just wasn't enough. It just wasn't. We just couldn't do it, and we got past it to love each other again. I respect him as my brother. It's just. He loves me unconditional and the same. So I'm so excited about this project that we're doing. Um, I'm super excited about Sia Amun, Siaamun. Yes, it's my beautiful daughter. My son Py, put your heart in it. Follow him. My junior is doing his thing in the music. He's got a couple videos that's at a couple million on YouTube right now.
wow.
So you can expect more music, more projects. I'm gonna go right into a new film once this project is placed. I'm gonna go in and start shooting another short film. I'm gonna keep that coming. But as far as music, a lot of new music. I'm going right back into the lab, and I'm getting ready to turn up just completely. Like
Listen,
you hear in life people saying, "I wish I knew then what I know now." I know now what I'm supposed to know now, and I'm getting ready to use it. You know,
you know what? I've never heard it. I've never heard that. All we always hear, if I knew what I knew then, we always hear it that way.
yeah.
But that right there, I'm exercising that right there. I appreciate that nugget right
In the
there, my
now,
brother. Exactly.
in the now,
Right. Right.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Absolutely,
Oh, that's
man.
that's marijuana cough. If anybody's asking, yes.
Man, listen, Steve, brother, from the bottom of my heart, man, listen, I love you, my brother.
Thank you, man. I
And
do, man.
I'm not gonna lie, this has been an amazing experience. Um, Shout out to our sponsor of this episode, GS Music.
Yeah,
Y'all make sure that Grown and Sexy Music, y'all make sure that y'all go and follow my girl Leanne, that on Instagram. That's at Grown and Sexy music. Y'all make sure y'all get in tune and get in touch with it. She just dropped a new clothing line as well. Y'all make sure that y'all get connected. Steve, listen, man, I love you so much, brother.
And
You are a ball of light,
much, man.
inspiration, and energy. Are you going to be doing? Because I know that you do inspirational speaking as well.
Yeah.
Um, do we have any dates or anything that we need to put out there or whatever you moving around? I know things are kind of opening back up a little bit.
Well, you can follow on Instagram. Welcome to Intro. My daughter, she puts on these summits where I've been able to talk to the new generations about everything that I'm talking about today. You know, just giving jewels in a time where you say you wish you had known something at 20. Well, I'm
Right.
giving it to them through this idea that my daughters we've been doing. It's called Intro, and we play music. Unsigned writers, big producers, and then I usually say give some words of wisdom, and it works out well. So I'll be doing that. That's ongoing. So we'll be doing that often.
Absolutely, man. Let's put them social platforms out there and all those media outlets that people can actually get connected with you before we get out of here.
Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at Stephen Russell Harts, and that's RussellHarts. If you're not easily offended, you can follow me on Stephen is underscore crazy. If you're in the right knowledge, you can follow me at Stephen underscore speaks. You can follow and keep updates about the movie on Day One's the movie. Um, and you can follow my radio show, The Heart of R&B, that I co-host with Miss Chalet, The Heart of R&B on Instagram. So,
Oh, that's dope,
latest man,
man.
we coming with everything, bro. Me and Miss Chalet, we have a wonderful platform that we're gonna get cracking. I'm moving to Texas right now, so
What?
once I get
Well, I'm
settled,
pulling. I'm gonna pull up on you then, because we what we gonna do is we gonna do the exclusive in person and we gonna do a day in the life with Steven Russell. We're gonna
that's
do
right.
that. I'm gonna hang out with you. We do whatever you doing. You just do what you do, and we're gonna give the fans that that day in the life experience with you while
That's
you
right.
do what you do. That's dope, man.
That's
I'm
right, man.
excited. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. So yeah, you can expect new music and just you know I'm gonna give at my fullest, and see what happens. I'm gonna feel good before it happens. I'm gonna have the audacity to experience new things before they even occur. I'm gonna do it on purpose and watch God work.
Absolutely. Listen, whatever again, whatever you need promoted, let's connect. Whatever you need promoted or whatever, you come back on here anytime. You're an honorary Vibe family member now. You come
Appreciate
back
it.
on here and promote whatever you need to do. That's music, movies, books, whatever you're trying to promote. Let's get connected. Come back on here and let's put that information out there, man. We got to keep this thing
11
pushing.
chapters from my autobiography. I forgot to mention that. I'm almost done with my
What?
first. Yeah.
We got an expected date on that we can get that.
Uh, it's not. I'm not done yet, so I'm trying to figure out what's a good spot for me to stop this first book. But I'm almost done. Hopefully, if hopefully I can get it done by the end of the year. That'd be awesome to get it out by the end of the year. But I'm not sure. But I'm working on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, y'all make sure that y'all get connected. Everybody that's on here right now, let's go on. I'm going to give some quick shout outs to people while you're on here now. You have fans on here and people on here that love you a lot.
Uh,
I want to shout their names out while you're on here to give them that experience as well.
yeah.
Shout out to Sunshine.
Hey,
Shout
son,
out to I Am Love.
I am in love. I
Shout
am.
out to GS Music. Shout out to Loving My Destiny. Shout out to Julie Firmino. Shout out to I think I got Love in My Destiny. I Am Love. Let's see here. Shout out to Vibe Show Casper. Um Shout out to Sanja. Forgive me if I say your name wrong. Is it Sanjay or Sanja Kamithier? If I'm not mistaken. Forgive me if I got your name wrong, Queen. Um, Shout out to, man. We got some people on here. Uh, they showed a lot of love. Shout out to Shelby Patrice. Shout out to Onika. Um, Please forgive me.
What's up, Onika?
Shout out to Onika, Messerschmidt. Shout out to you. Shout out to Roman Stewart. Appreciate
Shout out.
that love for my special guest. Shout out to Daniel Sky High McLean. Shout out to Nicer.
Dope.
And shout out to everybody else who was on the live show and my special guests. So much love. Y'all are really the ones for showing my special guests so much love. I love y'all so much. Um, Man, listen, more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now, my brother, and everything that you're going to be doing in the future.
You
Continue
too, man.
to spread love and light and inspiration for us all, man. We all love you, man. For me, the
Thank,
Vibe team, GS Music, we love you, my brother.
thank you, man. I
Blessings
appreciate
and love, bro. Can't wait to
it.
get you back on here again.
Anytime, let me know, man.
Look, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you a clip and all of that of everything. I got you. We're gonna
Okay.
connect, my brother. I
Thank you,
love you,
man.
King.
Love you too. Thank you so much, bro.
Absolutely.
All right.
It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with my special guest, the one and only Russell. Man, listen, you gotta love it, man. Shout out to GS Music for making this amazing thing happen, the sponsor of this episode. I love y'all. You guys continue to be safe out there if you're moving around. I appreciate all the love. If you are new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, turn on those notifications for more exclusive interviews and more exclusive content. Also, if you are new on here as well, please check us out. Log on to our official radio station website where we are playing continuous hits 24/7. That's www.thevibeshow979.net. If you want to follow the radio station website on Instagram, the Instagram is the Vibe Show 97.9 FM. Also, you can follow us on Facebook. That's Kevin the Vibe Show Hampton on Facebook. I love y'all again. If you guys, anybody want to give any show donations or support, you can hit the Vibe Show Cash App account at Vibe Show 979. I love you guys again. Continue to be safe. Blessings and love to you all. See y'all the next time.
Let's go! Let's go! New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, now tell me, should I feel so wrong for things I'm setting aside?